Well, we've grown a wheat mini bong. I'm Engineer Hoist, and welcome to our impromptu stream. Although you probably knew this was coming, we had TFCON last weekend, and I got to tell you, it was a blast. It was great seeing everybody, enjoying my hammers that I had available for the show, and it was nice meeting everybody that I happened to talk to. I think I saw Antoine here in the chat. It was great to talk to you. I think we ran into each other back in 21, or at least we passed each other, but it was nice to chat with you for a bit. Welcome also to Oktar, Super VH, Joseph Trujillo, Mega Prime, JKR Productions, let's see, Mercenary Terror, Mr. Steeler, Daniel Evans. Welcome to all of you here to the stream where we're going to talk about TFCON. We're going to talk about the hall and just basically everything that went on. And so I don't really have a whole agenda necessarily, but I suppose we could start with y'all know I've been talking about I wanted to sell off some of my collection. I've been thinking about ways to do it, so I started pulling them all together, got them into bins, and was thinking about selling them in the lobby of the hotel during TFCON. And then I realized I had a whole lot of stuff. So I looked into possibly getting a booth and managed to get one. So we got over there, and first I had the custom class. So we'll start there. Before we could even pick up the badges or anything to get into the room, the custom class started. And the bad news is I only had about half the time for the custom class because I had to go register and start setting up. But still managed to do an okay job. This is started off as Crosscut. It is now Armada Red Alert, and yeah, the paint job's kind of sloppy, but that's considering that's 4 hours worth of work. It's I think it's the fact that I got it completely painted and back together. Now, putting it back together, the gold paint, like right here, you could tell there's blue showing, was not completely dry. So I ended up transferring some to his chest and his head there, so he's got some gold battle damage there. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. Also, Gen 1 Red Alert was in the class too, so we got to hang out for a little bit and paint these guys up together. And so yeah, overall it was a nice time. There's definitely some I'd like to come back and touch up. Oh, one thing is we did get some 3D printed parts like the new head, a new grill, and we also got a little piece that goes in his arm, and that has already snapped off for me. So some super glue might put that back together, but I'd rather finish the paint job before I go and start trying to repair it. But yeah, it was a good time. Definitely would not want to do that again if I'm doing a booth. It was too stressful. The whole time it was just the custom class is good. I recommend it for anybody who wants to do it, but not if you're doing a booth. Yeah, so after that, went over there, I checked in, and I got my badge. So that allowed me into the dealer room to set up my little spot. It was a pretty nice little spot. At first I thought it was next to across from TF Source, but it's actually behind them. They just had a big banner that happened on their back. It was facing me. We were actually across from ages 3 and up, and next to half the battle toys, which was really cool. It was nice meeting him and checking out all of his stuff in person. And in fact, Gen 1 Red Alert was there and let him use the Ark for a portion of the time. But when he had to go home, half the battle toys saw that we had an Ark up there. We were displaying off the stands that were printed by Fir Talk as designed by Larkin's Lair, displaying the Nemesis and the Ark. So we let him use my Ark, and got one of the center thrusters. So you can find him on Etsy. Just might as well. He sells these center thrusters, and it does split apart in robot mode. I think there's actually it fills a little gap down here. I think there's even a gap filler up for the tower as well. So it's a really nice thing to do. And he also is the one who sells these nanobots. And I got one of those. Very tiny. If you want to know how tiny, here it is next to one of my hammers. You've seen my hammers against some other things. So the hammer is basically taller than this little Optimus Prime. It's amazing. And it's fully posable, too. It doesn't transform, but it's very posable. So yeah, it's very cool. Patriot Prime, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. And I think I saw Fir Talks here, too. Yeah, okay, great. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming. And, oh yes, Grand Galvatron. It was so nice to meet you in person, and very, very wonderful, and glad you liked your hammer. And I suppose we can go ahead and go there. You guys may have seen it in the Discord, but I did get one of the Grand Galvatron embroideries here of Hoist and a donut, and I like to think that this donut back here is this little guy. I mean, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but that's how I'm going to look at it. I forget what his name is, like Sprinkleberry or something like that. So yeah, so I've definitely got that bot on my list forever. But yeah, this was a great embroidery. It's so much nicer in person. So thank you so much, Grand Galvatron. It was great meeting you and great getting this wonderful embroidery. Oh. Let's see. There was something else. We'll go ahead and talk the other non-figure type of a thing. I'm not sure what the name of the place is who does it, but she's been at the TFCONs for the last 2 times in 2019 and 21. And by the time I ever got around to it, to go get one, this hot rod was always sold out. And so this time it was pretty early in the show. I got away from the booth briefly, and she was right by the doors. I was heading out the doors, and I saw them and said, "I'm going to grab one of these as I come back in." So sure enough, I did, grabbed it, boom. And so here's a little hot rod. So that was one of the things on my list. Was I was looking for a few things, and one of the things that's on the list pretty much every time, anything to do with hot rod or hoist even. So yeah, so we've got this little plush hot rod, and the arms are even posable. So that's really cool. Oh, let's see. We'll put him back over here. And yes, so there's the hammer. If you happen to buy the booth, or you may have actually seen it a little bit, I had the bucket of the hammers out there, and this impactor was sitting there just like this, helping display it, and did really well. I think there were 59 hammers sold, and I was so happy to see the response for that and everybody. And I've seen them starting to show up in the haul pictures that you're seeing on Facebook and Twitter and things like that. I'm looking through them. I'm like, hey, there's my hammers. It was so cool to see. Yeah, it was just great. I'm so happy that everybody's really liking them, and I'm going to move forward with probably going on Etsy to make them available for shipping there. I still got a few details to work out. I will let you know when it's there. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. Friday night, I did get the premium ticket, and even though I went for the vendor deal, I still had the premium ticket so I could get in there and get the exclusives, because I always like getting the exclusives. So I go in there. One of the exclusives was Vivace or Vivace. This is at first it's I'm thinking it's the Voltron Black Lion. It's a steel jaw, but turns out the reason it's like this is this was the design intended for shattered glass steel jaw. So we've got ourselves a little shattered glass steel jaw here to go with one that I picked up. This actually was the last time TFCON was in Orlando, which unfortunately got canceled, had a shattered glass Ravage or Glit. So they're both from Ocular Max, and they turn into practically life-size tapes. So that's very cool that we've got that. As soon as I saw this this one show up as an exclusive, I knew I had to have it. And along with that, from Mastermind Creations, there was this image of this figure. except the face was obscured, kind of like I'm doing now. And that's because it is the Joker. They were even blocking the wheels. He's got, Joker faces on the wheels. Because they had done a Batman a couple of years ago, so now they're doing a Joker. And this is fantastic. I just absolutely love the colors. It does come with the original Chrome Dome head, because this was the Chrome Dome mold from Mastermind Creation. Yeah, but you get the Joker head, you just pop one up, pop the other one on, and you can transform it with this head, so that's really cool. And then it just so happens that our good buddy Fir Talk was there at the booth with me, and he was trying to sell these rollers. It was a really great idea, and I wish it would have done a little better, because it's such a cool idea. Printed up a whole bunch of rollers in a bunch of different colors, the wheels all in different colors, so you can make any kind of color combination that you wanted. And at one point, somebody put together this one. It ended up printing partially green, partially purple. We got some purple and white wheels on, and it is basically perfect as a Joker roller. So so my Joker has a roller partner to go along with them. I don't think there's a more perfect roller that you could get. Maybe Harley Quinn colors, but I like the Joker roller, because you know me, I like the crazy colors, right? Yeah. So also at the this is so far ages 3 and up, and so far at that table they also still had some of the exclusive from the TFCON Toronto from a few months ago, and I couldn't pass it up because it was right there in front of me. So another Chrome Dome mold that was done as Cheetor, and except this time this was also paired with the rewind that the original Chrome Dome came with as Rosanna. So very cool. They did actually redo the arm guards here, and they are pointy. Didn't quite draw blood yet, but I almost did a couple times. So this is very cool. I'm real happy to have picked that one up. And let's see, they also had one other item on the table which I kind of wanted, but I passed on. Except the problem is, they were located directly across from our booth. So the entire day Saturday, I had to stare at their booth looking at these things that I passed on. And I finally gave in, went over and got Rewind and Eject, aka Pitch and Motif. And so these guys are also cassette formers. They turn into the more or less lifestyle tapes, life-size tapes, like Steeljaw and Ravage over there, and they're really cool, really posable, fun to play with. You can see they get the 2 blasters. You can mount them on the back or use them in their hand, and I couldn't help it. I'm sitting there, and every time I'd look over that way, I'm looking straight at these tapes, and Fir Talk will tell you. I was talking about it all the time. Every time I'd look over there, I'd shake my head, and eventually I just snuck over there and said, "Yeah, can I get? Okay, thanks." And then it was it was a good time. So let's see what else do we got. Oh, the other exclusives. Let's I guess we can go in order. We've got the Fans Hobby Marksman. So this is a really cool figure. He comes packaged in jet mode. The transformation is a little tricky, but it's not too bad. But yeah, again, love the colors, the teal, the pink, the lime green. He's even got lime green missiles there. It's a beautiful figure. The jet is awesome as well. And this is based on, I want to say, the Dreadwing or Dreadwind figure that they had put out. So it's a Power Master. So it's also got his little Power Master dude, who is his engine, and snaps. You can put it on the back just like you would on the G1 toy. If you don't want to do that, you do just have a cover piece, and then it's just a nice smooth fuselage on him. So yeah. Patreon Prime saying, we are not good for each other's wallets. That's totally true. Yeah, that's right. Red Alert was over there talking to me about the Iron Factory Final Battle Ultra Magnus. That's that big big Ultra Magnus, and he mentioned to me that he wanted it, that he knew I had it, and I said, well, do you want me to talk you into it or talk you out of it? Apparently I must have talked him into it, because I did see your haul that you picked that up. So yeah, I'm sorry, and you're welcome. Let's see. Okay, the final exclusive was from TF Source. I don't know if I said it, but the Marksman that I just showed was from Chosen Prime. This one is from TF Source. This is the Make Toys Slipstream. This is their masterpiece Seeker mold. Basically, you can see it's got, I would say this is the thrust mold, because it's got the thrust wings and legs, but it's got more of the standard Seeker head as opposed to the cone head. And so there you go. But yeah, it's cool. I have not transformed this one yet. It did come in robot mode, and it was kind of collapsed a little bit, so I did unfold it to show it. But I haven't transformed it yet. One problem, though, somehow mine didn't come with instructions. So I've already reached out to TF Source and said, hey, do you guys got any instructions available that you can send my way? I'll give it a shot, trying to transform it without instructions, or I know this is a remold of some others. I could go on YouTube and figure it out, but still, I'd like to have the instructions. So I just sent that a little while ago. I haven't heard back yet, but that's okay. I'm sure they're busy. But yeah, it looks great. Again, gotta love the colors. So Super VH is saying, if you add a cone, it's G2 Ramjet. Yeah, no doubt. I've definitely noticed that Slipstream and G2 Ramjet are basically share the same color scheme. Let's see. I could have mentioned, if I was doing everything completely in order, this would have been one of the first ones, because get your sunglasses ready, guys, because we're seeing G2 Grimlock here. Fir Talk showed us off that he was printing these swords. He already had some of them for the regular Studio Series 86 Grimlock. He had some for the Shattered Glass. And then just recently he printed some nice ones for the G2 Grimlock. And as soon as I saw them, I said, one of those isn't even making it to our table. And this is that one. So here it is. And it's almost a perfect match. It's just beautiful. Just adds to the glare, the craziness of the colors. It's just absolutely perfect. I am so happy. And yes, I know I have a printer, I could print my own, but his color choice is just top notch. And honestly, I have no idea what I would use those colors for otherwise, so it saves me having to buy rolls of that color, at least until I think of something to use for it. Yeah, that was a great job, Fir Talks. Okay, let's see, what else? Let's go ahead and we can talk about this. And so Saturday evening, after all the festivities were done and everybody started to relax a little bit, we were kind of hanging out in the lobby, and here comes Ramus Primal dragging along 2 large bins and dropped them right in front of me, because that was just the spot where it landed. And pulled them off, and there were already people there waiting, and they immediately dove into these bids, looking at all this stuff. It was so many cool figures from like the Unicron trilogy era, Armada, Cybertron, Energon. I think it was including all of the 3. And if you follow Patriot Prime, he and Bert were there kind of watching the festivities. They even shot a real quick video and put it up, I think, on the TFCON discussion forum to kind of advertise for it. And I did grab one figure from there. As I was sitting there, everybody's pulling them all out and getting so excited seeing what they're seeing. And I just know that this figure's probably in here. And so just like I said, on my list, every TFCon, anything hot rod, it's also anything hoist, and this one counts. It's the Armada Hoist. Yeah, he doesn't look anything like that green tow truck, but it is called Hoist, and so there he is. He's in real good condition. He's got his Minicon here, and yeah, so I've already transformed him a few times. That's one of the nice things about some of these figures, they're simple. You can just transform them. don't get me wrong. I like the Masterpiece. I like the really complicated Legend scale. I like the complicated transformations so that it looks good in both ways. But sometimes it's fun to just transform a nice, simple figure. You just transform it back and forth and just have a good time and not have to worry about every last little tolerance and things like that. So yeah, I've got myself an Armada Hoist finally to go on my Hoist shrine as soon as I build it. Let's see. There was also a couple more that I realized that I didn't actually bring in here, but I ended up purchasing them with this guy. This is the Mech Fans Toys Sergeant, they call this one. This is obviously Bumblebee, and it is from the Hearts of Steel comic, where they were, back all old-timey trains and things like that. And so I got the Bumblebee, but he's a little more, he's got armored up or whatever than just the standard Bumblebee. And so I haven't transformed this guy yet. He was like the last one I got out, and just haven't had a chance for it. But I've been kind of wanting something like this before. I had, as like a free gift at one point, I got like a little Hearts of Steel Shockwave submarine. Yeah, so that was all I had at the time for that. So I ended up getting this Bumblebee now. I saw him out a few years ago, and I never got him. I always thought it was good, so he was sitting there. I grabbed it. Along with him, I also picked up New Age Hughes, which is their Power Glide, and the New Age Braun and Outback, something in William Bonney. So yeah, I got them too, because those were the only Legends class figures that I got. Last two TFCONs, I came back with bags full of them, and I've recently opened my eyes to the fact that there are other places to get Legends class like New Age figures online for way less money than those things like that. But I did my research, and those two figures are not available in that place. So I went ahead and grabbed them there since they had them. So there we go. And then I wasn't quite done yet, because this was one of the first things. I happened to see a couple booths down on the same row. This guy was selling a whole bunch of nice G1 toys. And so what just was kind of looking as in the last half hour or so before we opened on Saturday, and just got to talking and looking, and he had this figure, and I wouldn't say I've been looking for it for a while, but I've recently decided that I want it because I've never had one of these, and it is a version of my favorite character. And it was a decent price. We negotiated a little bit, got him to come down a little bit. But it is G1 Ramus Prime. He's got rubber wheels. He's got really nice looking chrome. He's got metal feet. And he's got all his parts. He's got his weapon, and he's got the two little shields for the cannon in the back. So there I go. My very first Ramus Prime from G1 figure is here. And I couldn't be happier. Yeah. But I wasn't done with hot rods, because I'm sure I've showed this off before. This is my G1 hot rod from childhood. As you can see, the stickers are kind of rough. The chrome is all faded, and the tires are kind of messed up. He's well loved. He's still roughly in pretty good condition, and he had the metal feet and everything. He's in good condition, and I will never get rid of this, because this is the childhood figure, and I'm happy with it. But I wanted a nicer looking one, so I found one. Yeah, so I did go ahead and get a really good condition G1 hot rod. The nice shiny chrome. It's got the metal feet. It's got the rubber tires. Same exact one as my original figure, except in better condition. So yeah, so I did get a hot rod and a Ramus Prime. But wait, there's more! I also wanted a hot rod in a box. So they did have a sealed G1 hot rod at one of the places. I was curious what the price was. They said $700. I'm like, yeah, that's way out of my price range. He said, but we do have a reissue or an encore over here, and it was far less money than that. I said, well, let's go take a look at it. And it turns out it was a Takara reissue. And I believe it's been opened. Yeah, it's been opened, but it's still in here. All the parts are in here. And the reason I went ahead and got this one too is, and it's even though it's not the G1 style box, the reason I went ahead and got it, first of all, it's saying it's the 20-year anniversary, which means this figure is practically vintage itself, 20 years old, because we're in the 40-year anniversary coming up. And so this is like a halfway point between there. So this is just practically vintage anyway. But the reason I got this one is this is the version with the Target Master Fire Drive, I think it is. I have not taken this out yet, but so there we go. So I got an original G1, and I got myself a nice reissue. But I did really kind of want the one with the G1 style box. So as soon as I got home, I actually went on eBay and found one of those Walmart reissues for a not too terrible price, and I ordered that, and it should be here soon. So yeah, so that's like, that would be like 4 G1 hot rods that I got. I'm counting that one to come as part of my TFCON haul too, because it was still done during the TFCON frenzy. Let's see, other things that I got. I got Fir Talk's had an extra one of these, so I got this one off of him, and I think we did a trade. I had a couple of figures that he wanted, and I wanted this, and so we did a swap. So I got the Minor Megatron and Senator Ratbat set, the Rise of Tyranny 2-pack. I have not opened this yet because I've been busy since I got home, just getting these open and just getting settled back in, and figuring out all the profits from or losses from the booth. So yeah, so we've got the Minor Megatron and Senator Ratbat. On top of that, Fir Talk's also printed an extra add-on for Minor Megatron. This is more reminiscent of his fusion cannon, but you can put the drill bit in the end and still spin it, as opposed to the smaller little bit that comes with the toy. So the excellent add-on that he's got there. So thanks for both of these Fir Talks. But before I get out of here with this Minor Megatron and Senator Ratbat, turns out that Patriot Prime, who brought a whole bunch of toy hack sets for sale, you just happen to have a Minor Megatron and Senator Ratbat set as part of those for sale, and those didn't quite make it to the table because I went ahead and purchased those myself so I could get a nice set of toy hacks, Minor Megatron and Senator Ratbat. So yeah, it was very cool that I got that. And let's see, the rest of this stuff, basically I found them at Ross. But it was done during TFCON, so it counts as a TFCON haul. So here we go. I did not want to pay full price for this figure, but for 13 bucks at Ross, I now own a Pluck Chicken Dinobot. So there you go. If you're not aware, the head sculpt was always great, but just the colorings just seemed weird to me. If you look at him in Dino mode, it looks kind of like a naked chicken. So definitely didn't want it for 34 bucks at the original price, but 13, yeah, we'll go for it. Again, did not want this at the normal price, but for I think this was 8 bucks. Ever since we got an Armada Cheetor skin in Earth Wars with the black and the red and I think purple, I just thought it looked really good, and I thought that would be a good idea for a custom. So I needed another Cheetor mold. Well, Night Prowler fits the bill. So we've got Night Prowler here. He's going to be an Armada Cheetor at some point in the future. Next up is... I actually got these all in one shot. And this was like the last day. Was it Saturday night? Yes, it was Saturday night. And I couldn't bring myself to put these out for sale. And it turns out it was a good thing because after I got these, I did a little walk around before the show started, and almost everybody had them. So, but I found Skull Cruncher, Weird Wolf, Hardhead, and Highbrow. And if I remember right, these were the only 4 that they redid in these G1 style boxes. So I found them all in one shot. 3 of them were together. I'm like, oh man, if only they had the 4th one, and it was just like one shelf up and like a couple feet over. I'm like, oh my gosh, imagine the luck! I got the whole set. So yes, it was great that to have these. And considering I do have the Titans Return versions of these already open and all that, at least for the time being, I'm probably just going to keep these guys in the box because honestly, this is again another one that I wouldn't have paid the full price for it because again I already had the figures but I mean it was a cool box. I always thought it was a cool box. I just couldn't really justify spending again for the same figure. But for $8, yeah, I'll do it. So it's a great looking box. Skull Cruncher in particular, I just happen to be having this, but I definitely had Skull Cruncher as a kid. I remember the story about Skull Cruncher, probably the only one that I remember. I had gone to the dentist. I think I was getting my wisdom teeth taken out. Might have been 7 or 8 at the time. That's about the time where I was. I think I was getting my wisdom teeth out because I remember coming back from the dentist and I was all kind of really hurting or whatever. And my mom took me to Service Merchandise, was the store, and said, you can go ahead and pick yourself out a toy. And I ended up picking the Skull Cruncher G1, obviously, at the time. And I really liked the figure. Unfortunately, the only thing left of that Skull Cruncher figure, all I have left is his tail. But I do have the tail. So, maybe next TFCON, I'll take a look for a Skull Cruncher figure. Maybe I'll go ahead and put that on my list, go find myself a G1 Skull Cruncher to replace it. But I do like the fact that he is Skull Cruncher. I believe in Titans Return he was Skull Smasher. So I think that was my haul. Yeah, so let's see, 1792 and 436. That's the one. That's what it was. Is it still there? But yeah, that's where it was. So I think I covered everything. Okay, so the other story is we were over there, and I think I started it off. So if anybody came in late, one of the things, Fir Talks, he was working the booth with me too. Larkin's Lair made these great stands for the Ark and the Nemesis. So I brought my Ark and my Nemesis to help show off the stands. So they're I got some shelves. They're about 6 foot high, and we've got them up there on the shelves and displaying them. And they were a hit. Lots of people came by and looking at them, taking pictures of them, asking about them. And the funny thing is, as soon as I got the Nemesis put up, I swear, within like 5 minutes, it wasn't even open yet, within like 5 minutes, somebody, I can't remember if it was an exhibitor or one of the staff, came by, says, "Is that for sale?" I said, "No, it's for display only." And I had planned ahead, knowing I'd probably get questions like that, and made myself a nice sticker, and I displayed this prominently. But I still had people ask how much I would be willing to sell it for. And clearly I didn't. The funny thing is, after the show, I went on to Hasbro Pulse. You can still buy it off Hasbro Pulse. So I'm not sure why people were practically begging to purchase a Nemesis, things like that. But it was, it's still on Pulse as of I think yesterday. So yeah, but yeah, there was some people carrying around. There was one girl, a teenager, I think, had Nemesis transformed into robot mode, was carrying it around, face out. Very clearly, very happy to have a Nemesis, and yeah, it was really cool. But yeah, but beyond that, it was just a fun time. It was really cool being on the exhibitor, the dealer side of the things. Having the people come in, buying the things, and let me tell you, when they opened up at 9 o'clock on Saturday, I was hoping that we would do well. I had in my wildest imagination, I never thought it would go over as well as it did. I swear, from the moment it opened at 9 a.m., well, maybe a couple minutes because it took a few minutes for people to walk back there, and the people who were walking fastest were walking to the autograph, the voice actors and stuff like that were the next row down. But beyond that, almost immediately people were starting to come in, and for like 4 straight hours, it was till like 1 o'clock before there was even a room to breathe. It was just constant, and it was great. Seeing all this, I mean, I practically had a line. Sometimes there were 2 or 3 people waiting for me to be able to check out. It was very cool. It was very cool meeting you guys. There was actually one person who came up. I did that video advertisement a couple days ago. I said, "Hey, come up and say wreck and rule, and save." And I'll give you a free hammer. I actually had somebody do that. 2 people. Red Alert did that, and then somebody else who I'm not. I didn't even get his name, but it was cool that I actually had somebody come up and do that. So it really made me smile. And yeah. But did I see Fitz? You said you were actually there. Yeah. I'm sorry we didn't cross paths or get a chance to meet. Maybe you were there during one of the busy times. And yeah, but it was cool. Yeah, sorry I didn't get to meet you. Did you end up getting yourself a hammer? So, well, let's see what you guys are talking. Fir Talk says just reminded me to order a second Nemesis. Yeah, Hoist still costing me money. Yeah, we all help each other, cost each other money. It's like, oh, I don't know if I really want to get that thing. Yeah, you do. Go ahead and go over there and get it. Go ahead. It's like, you'll regret it. Yeah, we're such enablers of each other. It's so funny, but it's great. It's great. So, so what are you guys talking about mouth plates? Let me scroll back. Okay, I see. Mercenary Terrorist says mouth plate. Oh, so there's something more. Mouth plate or no mouth plate? Yeah, basically, yeah. So some of them, it's really what you're used to. If you grew up like Optimus Prime always had a mouth plate, so the times that we see him without one, it's kind of weird. But we've seen him enough that way. I suppose it's all right. Soundwave without a mouth plate would definitely be weird. So. Patriot Prime said yes. The chaos of the group photo. Well, see, we took a group photo the last time, and last time nobody was working the booth, so we had plenty of opportunities to get everybody together in front of the TFCON sign, and there were also fewer people in the group at the time. So we got that picture. So we wanted to do it again, kind of just to mark the occasion. Well, our group grew. It's practically double what it was the last time over the year as we've meet more new people, YouTubers, and start chat and everything. But the thing was, we couldn't really do it in front of the TFCON sign because Fir Talks and I were, I hate to say it, stuck at the booth because we couldn't leave it, obviously. But so fortunately, right? I remember earlier I mentioned that we were across the way was just like a big empty space with a big TF Source sign there. We said, hey, there's a perfect space. Get everybody over here. Fir Talks and I will jump over there real quick. We'll grab a photo, and I didn't see it because I was busy taking orders at the time because it happened to get busy. But apparently everybody was already there for like 5 minutes or something. Said, "Hoist, get over here!" So I ran over there, jumped in, smiled, took a photo, and then ran off. I didn't. I don't have the photo up to share, but it's floating around on social medias, and I shared it on Twitter or Facebook, so it's out there, but it's great. It's great seeing everybody and meeting some of them new in person, like Treebot, Ghost Prime, Diecast Norbs, our Lazy Eyebrow reviewer. I don't know if any of you guys know him. He was there. I got a chance to talk with him for a little bit. He showed up at the booth, and then he's kind of also been inducted into our little group now. But yeah, it was real cool that we had got all of that, and met all those new people. And oh yeah, TJ Omega was there. I didn't get a chance to talk with him much, but I know the rest of the guys did. And yeah, he was definitely there for the photos. So yeah, it was a good time. Good time. Let's see. Took a while to realize TJ was in the photo. Yeah. JKR Productions just ordered one of the stands for the Nemesis. Cool. Now you just need a Nemesis. Yeah. There's actually somebody out there. I don't know if they purchased it at TFCON or if they got it from Larkin's Lair earlier, but there's a photo up there on Twitter that I saw where somebody purchased the stand for the Ark. And if you haven't seen them, it's a nice kind of almost triangular shape, wide base. It goes up much narrower at the top where the ship sits on. But on the front for the Ark, Larkin designed in a large Autobot logo, and it says Ark in text below it. And as you might expect, a Decepticon logo and Nemesis for the Nemesis. And this person got the Ark and painted it up. Painted the Autobot logo red with a white background and the Ark in red. It looks fantastic. And at some point I'm going to get those stands. I'm kind of waiting right now because I don't have a whole lot of place to put it and use it. But I definitely am going to get myself a set of those stands and try and decide whether I want to print it in color or paint it like this person did. Because I have a feeling that printing it in color with all the color swaps and everything will probably take quite a while more than what it would do just in a single color. So I'm going to try it and see what the difference is, and I have a feeling I'll be printing it in single color and painting them. Let's see, Red Alerts, did half the battle let me keep the thruster for my Ark? Yes, they did! So, yeah, this was the second Ark that he used, so we went over there, and he threw that on, and there's a gap filler up there also in the tower, and so I was very happy, you know. So yeah, I gave him one of my hammers, you know, not exactly a fair trade, but I mean we did let him use the Ark to help show off his stuff, so that was him being appreciative. And in case anybody missed out, also got one of the nanobot Optimus Prime from him, tiny little figure. And again, so here he is next to one of my hammers. He's just about as tall as one of my hammers. And I'm just looking at it now. This is not one of the good hammers. So the ones I sold were much better quality than that. Yeah. Fir Talk says he's setting one to print in color now. You're guessing 36. Tell me what. Yeah, that might be. And if it's going to be that, then that's going to be a no. I'm not going to print it in color. I think the longest print I've done so far is like 12 hours, just because I'm still trying to get used to having them take a while. The stand. Oh, the Larkin Layers stands. So, because Larkin's Lair is actually going on vacation for a little bit, and he gave Fir Talks permission to go ahead and print them and sell them on his Etsy. So I think, what do you say, through November? I think you can head over to Fir Talks' Etsy. I don't know the link. If you can throw it in the chat there, Fir Talks, go for it. If not, throw it into our other chat, and I'll copy and paste it over. And you can go check that out and check out all the other stuff Fir Talks has. He makes good stuff. Like I said, he made this little add-on kit for Minor Megatron. He made this great sword. Get your sunglasses out. Made this great sword for the G2 Grimlock. Also comes in the standard Studio Series 86 and Shattered Glass colors. Makes the rollers, all kinds of good stuff. So yeah, definitely go over there and check out his stuff. You know, one of the things that I kind of regret a little bit is Larkin's Lair was kind enough to send me before the show a whole bunch of 3D printed accessories that he had printed up, and asked me to give them out during the show, you know, in whatever way I feel necessary. And what I regret is that I wasn't able to give out many of them. I was able to give out some, but we were just so busy that it just did not even have an opportunity to even think about doing it. You know, the first lull, maybe 5 or 6 hours into the show, I was like, oh my gosh, we haven't even thought about giving some of these out. But yeah, it's so I still have them, and I'm still going to give them out. I just haven't decided yet. But we've got things like little extra weapon, like a stinger for Buzzsaw, for... Who's the other one? Sky Wasp. I have one for Waspinator. Nice purple one. We've got some G2 Laser Prime, you know, shoulder pads Prime. We've got a kit for his trailer. It's got this really cool disc shooter. And got some sword handles for Transmetal 2 Megatron for Legacy. It's a nice gold, nice gold handle with like bat wings, and then you can put his like little flame sword in there. Give it a little bat. We got some of those. We got some little guns. Nice gold filament too for Legacy Eject and Rewind. So we got quite a few things there to give away. But considering that it's hard to tell who has what, not real sure how I'll do it. I'll come up with something. So stay tuned, and we'll work on doing something like that. Maybe we'll do some of those giveaways like how Patriot Prime does his Toy Hacks labels. So we'll go ahead and say, hey, this is a giveaway for a certain thing. So if you want it, you go ahead and enter. If you don't want it, then you don't enter. So maybe that's the best way to do it. So keep an eye out for that. Oh, what else was there? Probably the only thing that's not as great about having a booth there at TFCON is we did miss out on a lot of the hanging out with the guys, because I see so many pictures of the guys hanging out at the pool at the hotel and doing other things together, and they all came by. And we chatted and we hung out. Obviously, we got the group picture, and I do appreciate all that. But I do feel like I missed out on a lot going and doing the booth. That said, it did really well helping me clear out some of my collection. At the end of the day, I sold 149 figures. And one of my goals is I had Construct Bots. I had like maybe 8 or 9 Construct Bot sets, which I had tried selling on eBay before. Couldn't do it. And I took all of them over there. I said, one way or another, these are not coming back to my house. So the nice thing was, a lot of them did sell. But as we were getting down towards the end, there were 3 left. And there was this one girl, she bought Leader Class Combiner Wars Skywarp, and she was kind of like looking at the Construct Bots. I said, pick one. You can have it with you. Go, take it with you. She's like, really? So she picked one. Then there was another boy came by with his father. This was one who'd actually been there a couple of times already and purchased something and got a hammer. And so I gave it to them. And so I said, thanks for being such a great customer. And another boy and his father came by as well, and here you go. Enjoy a Constructbot. So, because like I said, I did not want to bring any of them back with me, and I didn't. So, I did have 3 sets of Transformers playing cards. Sold 2 of them. Gave the last one away. It was so funny because this girl, teenager, came up, was looking at them, and just like looking at them, really pondering. And she's like, puts it back, like, oh, I don't know if I really want to get into another collection. And but then she did buy something from me. I said, you can have those cards if you want them. And she said, really? And so she picked them up. It's like, oh no, this is the start of another addiction. It was so funny, but I hope it works out for you if you're out there watching. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know if I said this. I sold 59 hammers. I've got 78 left. I printed quite a few. And I took a whole pile of bots. You know, I kept a few of them. You know, I kept a little sprinkle donut here. And Star Saber, still hanging on to that lollipop he's had for a couple of years. Megatron's still over there with his cup of coffee. And Beast Wars Megatron's still out there with his rubber ducky. So yeah, so there's a few bots I hung on to, but overall, I took 105 bots there, and out of that, 51 sold. So yeah, so the bots went well. I had them, you know, like $2 or 3 for $5 or something like that. So, you know, a lot of people bought them 3 at a time. But yeah, it was cool. I mean, overall, it was very successful. I didn't get rid of everything. I didn't expect to, but it was very good. And I would definitely do it again if I got to clear out part of my collection. So, the one thing I did notice, there was a number of people who came by asking if I had any animated figures. I did not. It is interesting because when I first started collecting things from my collection to go over there and sell, I did actually have a lot of animated figures in there. I was keeping like Optimus and Bumblebee and like Wreck-Gar and the Rodimus Miner. But beyond that, I had most of my animated collection was originally in the bin. And then as I was getting closer to start really finalizing things, I changed my mind and I pulled them all right out of the bin because like, nope, not ready to let go of the animated stuff yet. I think a lot of what it had to do with was Legacy United coming out with animated B and Prime, and then it also occurred to me, it's like, well, I just got animated Prowl in Legacy Evolution, I think it was, because I never actually had the actual animated Prowl, so that was like the first animated Prowl. So yeah, so I did have animated figures in there originally, but I pulled them all back out. I suppose I somehow ended up with 2 Snarls. You know, he's the Triceratops. I guess they couldn't call it. That must have been right about the time where they realized that they couldn't say slag without offending people, and they hadn't figured out Slug yet. Snarl was available, so they just slapped Snarl on it. Maybe. But then he became Slug because we Stegosaurus is Snarl. So yeah, somehow I had 2 Snarls, and I think I still have 2 Snarls because I didn't think to put them in there. I just grabbed all the animated stuff out of there. Fir Talk says 1 day, 8 hours, and 49 minutes. So right at 33 hours to print the stand in 3 colors. Versus, what did you say it was? In 1 color, 7 hours? Yeah, I think I'll do 1 color. I think I'll do a single color on that one. Oh yeah, Red Alert picked up a Windblade. What else did you got? You got from me. You got the Fans Project Smart Robin, which is their brainstorm. It was a little hard for me to let that one go because I really like the transformation on that figure. But I've got enough brainstorms, and it was just time for him to go. So I hope you enjoy it. It's a good figure. I did like it. It was hard to let him go. And you got the Iron Factory Blitzwing, I think. that one was not as hard to let go because I love Iron Factory figures, but for whatever reason, that one just didn't hit for me. I look at it, years later, it's not as bad as I remember it in my head, but for whatever reason, that one just didn't hit for me. So yeah, there you go, Iron Factory Blitzwing. But I hope you enjoy it, and definitely that I know you're going to enjoy that Iron Factory Ultra Magnus City Commander if you haven't already. So. The ankles were troublesome. Yeah. Super VH, thanks for being here. Yeah, TFCON was a blast in so many ways. It's just, if you ever get an opportunity, if it's near you, I highly recommend going. Because if you could do like a day trip out of it, a single day ticket is really not that expensive. Where it gets expensive is if you don't have self-control in the dealer room. Otherwise, it's really cool to go see. I mean, they have cosplayers. I did see a few of them wandering around as I was walking around. There's a really great-looking Waspinator was walking around there, and I never saw the person with the head on, but I saw the outfit was a Windblade. Looked really good. So. Yeah, the cosplayers it's always really impressive to go over there and see there. And unfortunately, I never made it into the Artist Alley room to see any of that stuff, so I'm a little disappointed by that. But, I've gone in there a few times before, last couple times, and it's always good stuff in there. Yeah, I mean, even if you don't buy anything, just check it out. It's just, fantastically talented people over there. Oh. Cuddy Fox saying it's all the British fault with the slag debacle. Yeah, I know. But we can still call them slag. Hasbro can't, but we can. It still cracks me up that there's Earth Wars alliances that been around for a while. His name is Slag. And when he first came out, Swoop was called Strafe, so there was his name is Swoop Alliance. But that one got straightened out. Even Sludge came in as Slog. That got straightened out. But Slag is still Slug, and he will never be Slag again. Just like Megatron will never be a gun again. At least not for a toy. Waspinator reminds me of Scooby-Doo and Shaggy when they're scared. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. They really do. Oh. Fir Talk says, even if the booth was crazy, it was still an awesome weekend hanging with you all day. Yeah, I agree. I'm seriously considering doing it next year. I mean, we've been pretty much on the 2-year plan. But next year is in Baltimore. Same place it was in 21. It's the same exact place it was in 21. So, it's actually easier because we're going somewhere that we already know. And I am seriously considering going in there. And if I do, I'm very likely to be bringing my stuff along. Because, like I said, I've got plenty of stuff left over, and I'm not done purging. This was just the first wave, and I'm hoping very soon to start building shelves and getting more of an organized collection, so that I know what's keeping. If anything that doesn't make it on the shelf, I got to take a really hard look at letting it go, because I do not want to anymore be keeping my collection in bits. I want it on shelves, or I don't want it at all. For the most part, there's going to be exceptions in anything, but yeah. Being local, be filling your truck with toys and prints. Yeah, that's basically what I did. I filled my SUV to the brim. Maybe not 200 rollers. Yeah. I still feel bad that didn't work out for you. It was such a cool idea, and I was so Yeah, I made out. I got a Joker roller out of it, so yeah, I do appreciate that. But yeah, I wish more people would have taken to that, because I thought it was a cool idea. But hey, you know, you try something and sometimes it doesn't work out. So okay, so here we go. This is a test. Let me go. Nope, that was the wrong one. So it says, tell me, Hoist, is Rumble blue or is Frenzy red? Yeah. It's both. Why not both? You know. Yeah. I actually posed the same question to you know, I put early on in the Discord. I think I did a poll. You know, vote for fur rib or rib fur. Yeah, which is basically Rumble is blue, Frenzy is red, or Frenzy is red, Rumble is blue. So it's the same option, whichever one you picked. So. I'm not really super hard on one side or the other of that debate, because honestly, if you're asking, okay, is Rumble blue or is Rumble red? What I'll ask you is, what are you talking about? Is it the G1 cartoon? Well, Rumble is blue. Is it the G1 toy? Rumble is red. And in Transformers Prime, Rumble was blue. You know, he was a car. But, you know, TF Wiki has actually done a real good job on that whole debate, and they've got a list of all the different appearances of Rumble and Frenzy throughout the course of Transformers history. And if you just scan that list, you will find that most occurrences, Rumble's red and Frenzy is blue, like the original toy. But I grew up watching the cartoon, so for me, Rumble is blue. When I think of Rumble, I think of blue. And the Studio Series 86 figure, they actually put it on the package. You know, this guy, is that Rumble or is it Frenzy? Actually, I think I still have the package over here. They make it clear, Frenzy red. And Rumble was Rumble blue. They making it clear. So, Frenzy red. Rumble blue. So for Studio Series 86, Rumble is blue, Frenzy is red. So. But Skywarp was Skywarp was Cyclonus. Not Bombshell. Even though Bombshell was in the front and Skywarp was in the back, and they both turned into a Cyclonus, and then one of them disappeared, it's the Skywarp. I can see why people might think Bombshell, but it's Skywarp. Bombshell turned into his Armada. Because Unicron said Cyclonus, the warrior, and his Armada. So you had Cyclonus and his Armada. I saw somebody post that on one of the forums one time. It was so hilarious, and putting it in the chat. His Armada. So ever since I saw that, I literally cracked up for like 5 minutes, and it is stuck in my head now. That second Cyclonus in there, that was his name. It's not he doesn't have a whole armada. It's an easy thing to misunderstand, but that was his actual name, his Armada. So anyway, well, I think that's all we're going to do for TFCON. I think we've covered it all. You know, it's always fun to talk about Transformers, though, so we always do that. Just like they were talking about during the panel. That's another thing I didn't mention. I didn't happen to do the panel, so because obviously we were in the booth. But just like with the panel we did last time, which I was a part of, and just like all of our live streams that tend to happen over on Patriot Prime's channel. You might start off with the topic, and then it kind of goes and derails. If you've been on any of my streams before, even with Earth Wars, that's how it works too. We start off with the topic, we cover the news of Earth Wars, finish that in about 10 minutes, go crack some crystals, and then it's just, you know, free for all. Do what you want. Talk about whatever. You ask me questions. Usually I'll show you some toys. This time it was all about the toys and, you know, other talk. But yeah, it's always fun. And but all good things must come to an end, just like TFCON did a couple days ago, and just like this stream is doing right now. So I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends, and we'll see you next time.